Let me ask you something. Have you ever crawled into bed completely exhausted, your body begging for sleep, but the moment your head touches the pillow, your brain suddenly decides now is the perfect time to think about everything? That awkward conversation from 3 years ago, the email you forgot to send, what you should have said earlier today. Your body is tired, but your mind refuses to power down. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And here's the surprising truth most people never hear. When your body resists sleep, it's usually not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your brain believes it's still protecting you. Stay with me for a few minutes, because once you understand what's happening inside your body, sleep starts to make a lot more sense. Before we go deeper, quick favor. If you've ever had a night where your brain just wouldn't shut off, stay till the end of this video. Understanding your body is one of the most powerful forms of self-care. Now let's clear up the biggest myth about sleep. Most people believe sleep works like a switch. You get tired, go to bed, and the body powers down. But biologically, sleep doesn't work like that. Sleep is actually a negotiation between two systems inside your brain. One system builds pressure for sleep throughout the day. The other system stays alert, scanning the environment, watching for threats, deciding whether it's safe to relax. If that alert system senses stress, bright light, caffeine, or emotional tension, your brain quietly delays sleep, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. After years of studying sleep behavior, one pattern becomes very clear. The brain doesn't resist sleep randomly. It resists sleep for specific reasons. And once you understand those reasons, you can work with your body instead of fighting it. So let's look at the habits that most often confuse the brain's sleep system. Not to judge, but to understand. Because small changes here can make a very real difference. Let's count them down. Habit number 5, ignoring your brain's wind-down signal. Your brain doesn't suddenly decide it's time to sleep. It sends signals earlier than you think. Yawning, heavy eyes, difficulty focusing. That's your body saying, hey, it's time to slow down. But most of us push right past those signals. One more episode, one more scroll, one more task. Biologically, when you ignore those early cues, your brain releases alertness hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to keep you going. Suddenly you're awake again. Emotionally, this creates frustration. You were tired earlier, now you're wired. Practically, bedtime gets pushed later, while real sleep becomes harder to reach. Over time, the brain learns this pattern and stops sending those early signals as clearly. Habit number 4, turning your bed into a thinking station. When you lie in bed, what happens in your mind? Do you relax? Or do you replay the day, plan tomorrow, and worry about things you can't solve at midnight? Your brain learns through association. If the bed becomes a place for thinking, stressing, or problem solving, the brain slowly stops linking it with sleep. Biologically, the thinking center of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, stays active. Emotionally, you feel trapped in endless thoughts. Practically, you may lie in bed for hours feeling exhausted, but unable to drift off. Your brain prefers patterns, which means the environment you create before sleep matters more than you realize. If you found this helpful so far, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone you care about, because the right information can genuinely change someone's life. Habit number 3, late night stimulation. This one sneaks up on almost everyone. Phones, bright screens, late night shows, endless scrolling. Your brain interprets light and stimulation as daytime signals. Biologically, blue light suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals night to the body. Even small amounts of light can delay melatonin release by 30 to 60 minutes. Emotionally, your mind feels alert and restless. Practically, you suddenly feel wide awake, even though you were sleepy earlier. And here's the part many people don't realize. Your brain doesn't know the difference between sunlight and a bright screen inches from your face. Habit number 2, stress that never powers down. Stress doesn't disappear just because the day ends. If your brain still believes you're under pressure, your nervous system stays in defense mode. Cortisol remains elevated. Heart rate stays slightly higher, muscles remain subtly tense. Biologically, the brain interprets this as a signal that it's not safe to sleep yet. Emotionally, you may feel restless, irritable, or mentally overwhelmed. Practically, sleep becomes shallow or delayed, and many people end up blaming themselves for insomnia, when in reality, their nervous system simply hasn't been given permission to relax. Which brings us to the most surprising reason of all. Habit number 1, trying too hard to fall asleep. Yes, really. The harder you try to force sleep, the more your brain interprets that effort as pressure. Biologically, performance anxiety activates the stress response. Your brain begins monitoring itself. Am I asleep yet? Why am I still awake? What's wrong with me? And the moment sleep becomes a task, the body pushes it further away. Emotionally, this creates frustration and self-criticism. Practically, bedtime becomes something people begin to dread. But here's the good news. Sleep often returns the moment pressure disappears. So here's a simple action plan. First, respect your body's early sleep signals. When you notice tiredness, start slowing down. Second, create a wind-down ritual. Reading, gentle stretching, or slow breathing can signal safety to the brain. Third, protect the final hour before sleep. Dim the lights. Silence notifications. Let your nervous system shift into recovery mode. Fourth, if you can't sleep after 20 minutes, get up briefly. Sit somewhere dim and do something calm until sleepiness returns. And finally, practice gentle self-talk. Instead of saying, "I'll never fall asleep tonight," try this: "My body knows how to sleep, I'm simply giving it time." That shift lowers stress hormones and restores patience. And I want to say something important. If your body resists sleep sometimes, it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean your brain is failing. It means your nervous system is trying to protect you the best way it knows how. Sleep isn't something you force, it's something you allow. When the brain feels safe and supported, sleep returns naturally, often faster than people expect. So start small. Notice your signals. Slow your evenings. Treat bedtime like care, not a performance test, because the body is remarkably resilient. Even small adjustments can restore calm nights, clearer mornings, and the quiet confidence that comes from feeling rested again. If this helped you understand your body a little better, tap the like button. It tells the algorithm that calm, honest health education matters. And leave a comment telling me where you're watching from tonight. I read as many as I can. And if you want more simple explanations about sleep, brain health, and daily well-being, subscribe. Because the more you understand your body, the less power frustration and fear have over you. Remember this: small changes bring comfort, gentle habits restore freedom, and confidence grows when you stop fighting your body and start listening to it. Take care of yourself today. Your body is still on your side.